I made my husband sit down and watch The Dark Crystal with me, and while the aesthetics of the movie have stuck with me since the 80s, the story was so strange that I had forgotten most of the plot points. The Dark Crystal has a highly original but very convoluted story, which is perfect for making multiple theory videos, but a good starting place is probably the shattering of the crystal, since the entire movie revolves around repairing it. To do a brief recap, The Dark Crystal is set in the world of Thra, which has become a very desolate place since the crystal was, broken, cracked, shattered, had a perfectly circular icicle shape cut out of it with a laser. The exact details are up for debate, but a piece of this giant crystal was forcibly removed 1,000 years ago, and then two races appeared: the creepy, evil Skeksis and the slightly less unsettling to look at mystics. The world's last gelfling, Jen, is given the task of healing the crystal, which seems to involve sticking tab A into slot B at the appropriate time. But on his journey, Jen finds out that there is one other gelfling alive, and serendipitously, it's a female gelfling that's roughly Jen's age. Her name is Kira, and she's got a tribble-like pet named Fizzgig, which is arguably the best character in the movie. Kira and Fizzgig aren't important for this theory, but I will talk about them more in the next Dark Crystal theory, so all we know is that the crystal was broken on purpose because we're shown this hieroglyphic of a creature bashing it. Then at the end, the Skeksis and the Mystics combine to reform as the UrSkeks, which are even more creepy in this aliens will destroy us all kind of way. Anyways, the UrSkeks spilled the beans, sort of, by saying that they grew arrogant and delusional and broke the crystal themselves, which split them into two different creatures. But there's no rhyme or reason as to why they would break the crystal in the first place. So for Dark Crystal theory number 1, I'm gonna try to reason this out as logically as I can. UrSkeks are easily the most godlike beings we see in the film. They seem to have powers and they teleport away at the end for completely undefined reasons. Maybe they had to go back to their version of the heavens. Maybe they needed to check in with their moms after 1,000 years of being missing. Who could say for sure? But for argument's sake, let's call the UrSkeks a race of gods who were living off of the power of the crystal and becoming spoiled, decadent, selfish, basically hedonism bot from Futurama. And that behavior fueled the pure crystal to become the dark crystal. If I'm failing to make sense, let me compare the crystal's energy to a kiddie pool. When you first fill the pool, it's sparkling clean and beautiful, right? And if you keep up with maintaining the pool, it will stay pretty nice. But if you stop cleaning and start using the pool when you're covered in dirt, you're going to end up with a nasty, dirty mud pit. I think the crystal has a similar system where it gives out energy but also absorbs the energy that's returned to it. So the UrSkeks took the crystal's power and abused it until the crystal corrupted and turned into something evil. We can assume that's a fair assumption because at the end, the UrSkeks tell Jin that his courage and sacrifice made the crystal pure again. His internal energy purified the crystal just as if someone had dumped out the kiddie pool and refilled it with clean water. So the crystal becomes whole and new again, and as long as Jin and Kira are good-hearted users / protectors of the crystal, it'll remain pure. But why did the crystal shard create two different races? Well, I'm glad I brought that up, because I think that's a yin-yang type representation. If you look at the yin half of the symbol, the black side, there is a white dot in its core, because no matter how bad something or someone is, there's good in there somewhere too. So darkness can never completely destroy the light and vice versa. So I believe that 1,000 years before the start of the Dark Crystal movie, the crystal had become extremely tainted, but not completely. There was still one small section of purity in it. And the UrSkeks, in their arrogance and delusion, decided that they would become the ultimate supreme beings if they expelled the last bit of goodness from the crystal. So they hit it with a scythe and got what they wanted. But the UrSkeks didn't realize how interconnected they had become with the crystal. So when they broke off a shard of it, the UrSkeks themselves split in half. The part that operated off of their own self-interest and greed became the completely malicious Skeksis, and the kinder side of magic became the mystics. The final idea I have is that, at the end, the UrSkeks had to leave the world of Thra behind because they knew knew the type of power that the crystal held over them, and how easily they could destroy the world by drawing from its energy. So instead of taking any chances to repeat their mistakes, the UrSkeks took off and left the purified crystal in the hands of Jin and Kira. And I believe the idea is that their love will keep the crystal pure, whereas the UrSkeks were all male and thereby had nothing but power to strive for in their lives. So they had to leave because they could not trust themselves to stay around the crystal again. Yeah, I might be overthinking it, but that's literally my job. Well, that's all I have for now, but this video's not quite over yet. I get a lot of comments that say, do a theory on this topic, but I've already done those theories. So please consider going to my main channel page and clicking on the video tab so that way you can see everything I've done. You will probably find a lot of things you like that you never even knew that I posted. I want to let you know that I also have 2 other channels, Say Halo Goodbye Gaming and the Fanily Family Vlogs. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed enough to hit subscribe and share. I can use all the help I can get to let other people know that this channel exists. And if you made it this far, leave me a comment that says something like, hey, I made it to the end, and then let me know what kind of videos you want to see in the future. I can't make any promises, but the more people that request something, the more I can look into it. Okay, well, I love you. I'll see you in the next video.